Welcome to Frequency Bone Summer Music Connection 8, Video 7, the Recovery Series. And I feel that this will be the last video in this series, and the last one of Frequency Bone Summer Music Connection 8. 7 is a good number of videos, and from the very first video, you heard my first few notes, which I think was done on June 27th. And today is September 4th, 2016. So it's been, quite a while since I've been playing now. I haven't really changed anything in my routine, but because things have been getting more stable and certain staminas are growing, there's been a progression in terms of my basic abilities. And I wrote down a couple of things to summarize this particular recovery. Because there's recovery that will get you going. There's recovery, another stage in the recovery, which, you can feel like you used to feel. Maybe a little different, but certain things are happening now that were not happening earlier on in the recovery process. I'm playing on different equipment now than I was before my heart surgery. And I'm feeling good on it. And until that changes, this is where I'll stay. Besides, not too many people play cons anymore. Some do, but not many. And I've never been one to trumpet, play this horn. I just haven't. I played the Shires for many years. Might go back to it. I think it's a great instrument. I also, years ago, played a Monette, and I think, hey, maybe I should get another Monette. I think David Monette's a genius, and I think that he, contributed a great deal to the instrument manufacturers of today, who have taken a lot of his technology and put it into their equipment, quite frankly. So, and I loved playing that horn for certain things. And so I played a Bach when I first got into the Boston Symphony in 1975, which on October 27th will be 41 years ago that I got into the BSO. And as a matter of fact, yesterday, September 3rd, I realized I've now been in Boston for 43 years. Time moves along, doesn't it? It's quite extraordinary. So back to some key points from this recovery series. And again, if it brings up questions, anyone's free to email me. And we can open up some other specific territory. The word organic process came up. Okay? Number 2, start with what you can do, which is part of an organic process. Why would you start with what you can't do? Okay? Doesn't make a lot of sense, and it doesn't sound very natural to do that. And then after you've started with what you can do, number 3, gradually expand from there. Listen to what your body needs. Let it happen naturally. Which means really, don't force the issue. You can feel, I'm at the top of this range. Okay, let's come back down. I'm at the top. I'm getting the limit of louder playing right now. Let's move it back. Okay, all of these ideas so far are things that would someone would incorporate even in their regular playing life that isn't recovery. So I think that's important to think about. Get plenty of rest in between your sessions. For me, it was important. I'd go 18 to 24 hours in between. Let's say I'm playing every night at 8 o'clock. And so next time I'll start playing, maybe it will be around that time. So I've had a lot of rest. Like I said, lately I've been trying to put a little bit more and play a little bit in the morning, maybe some later on. So starting to expand into a couple of sessions, and I'm sure that's going to change as school starts this week. I'm looking forward to seeing students at New England Conservatory and Boston Conservatory where I teach. And I've taught a few lessons already and played, and it's been interesting. It really has. And then don't try to be good too soon when you're recovering. This is a part of letting it happen naturally and not getting frustrated just as, oh, I can't do this, and I used to be able to. Get that out of your mind. Absolutely get it out of your mind, because it's not going to be useful. Try to find the goodness of what you can do. Have the appreciation and the gratitude that things will develop. It's so important. Otherwise, we're just sitting in the past, woe is me, I used to be able to. When I was a younger player, and I used to hear older players talk, and they used to think, when I was your age, I was doing this and that, and I did this, and sometimes I find myself saying, years ago, I used to. That's okay. But in terms of a daily process to focus on, well, I can't do that like I used to, you'll actually be missing what you need to be doing now. And that's the importance of a living art, that you actually are with it in its needs, not being glued to some past idea. Discovery. Discover things. In the recovery, there can be discovery. And reaffirmation or reconfirmation of what things you already knew. So things are coming along pretty well. My range is pretty good. I can go higher than that. I probably can go to an F. I don't do it too often. It was okay. I wasn't trying. I was just kind of letting it go. It actually going to the F wasn't that difficult. It was coming down that felt maybe not as smooth as it could. So all these things you can discover in your recovery. Is going up easier than coming down? Does that exist anyway when you've been playing regularly and not just in recovery? Because some of the same issues might be in both cases. Okay? And then there's things that you rediscover in recovery. Oh yeah, if I do that little thing, that does still work. And you might discover some other things as well. Well, I'm going to leave you hanging a little bit there because I felt I should stop. And that's okay to do. So on that kind of incomplete note, which if you think about a series that has 7 parts in it, in one way, it has a completion like 7 days in the week. On another way of looking at it, like a scale, a regular major diatonic scale, and on a 7th if you go to the next octave. And there's that feeling of hanging on, and that's what that did. That hung on the 7th. And yet that piece was from a trombone quartet I wrote called the White Company Quartet, which was inspired by the author, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who also wrote Sherlock Holmes. It's all about honor. And can we find the honor in what we do? Every day. Not to tap ourselves on the back, but perhaps the world we live in needs more of it. And we can even find some in our own playing, with even the little disciplines of saying, you know what? Why damage myself? I'm going to stop now. And tomorrow's another day, or 3 hours from now, maybe I'll feel like I can do a little bit more. So I hope this series was useful, and we'll be seeing you very soon. All the best.